Hello dear students, welcome back. Today we are going to continue with the second part of chapter number 3, from testing to digesting. So in the previous video class we had taken up the first 3 pages of this chapter. Today let us take up another 3 pages of this chapter. So now let us start from page number 25. So dear students, open your book, keep it in front of you while watching this video and go through the book carefully. So now let's start. Use a clean cloth to wipe the front part of your tongue so that it is dry. Put some sugar or jaggery there. Could you taste anything? Why did this happen? Inside our mouth there is a production of a liquid called saliva. The saliva contains an enzyme which digests the carbohydrates present in the food, converting it into sugar. Because of that reason, whenever we eat any type of food items containing carbohydrate, and if we chew it properly, we feel a sweet taste of the food. So, if our tongue is being wiped off with a dry cloth, then the saliva present on the tongue is also being removed out. So as there is no presence of saliva, we will not be able to feel the sweet taste of the food. Doesn't matter whether the food that we have eaten is a sugar or jaggery. It is because as there is no presence of saliva, the carbohydrate present in this jaggery or the sugar will not be able to be digested and it will not be converted to sugar. Due to that reason, we will not be able to feel the sweet taste of the food. Now let's continue. Stand in front of a mirror and look closely at your tongue. How does the surface look? Can you see any tiny bumps on the surface? So if we clean our tongue properly and if we stand in front of a mirror trying to look to our tongue, we will be able to see small tiny bumps on the surface of the tongue. These tiny bumps are the taste bud that we had discussed in the last video class. This taste bud is the portion of the tongue which help us in detecting the taste of different food items that we eat. The tongue of every person have these tiny bumps. These bumps is the reason why we are able to feel the taste of different food items. The next section is tail. If someone asks you to describe the taste of amla or cucumber, you might find it difficult to explain. So there are some food items whose taste can be explained very easily, while some food items are there, the taste of which it is very difficult to explain. In case of the amla, we can say directly that it is sour in taste. In case of lemon also, it is sour in taste. But for cucumber, it is very difficult to tell the taste of it. So not only cucumber, there are many other food items whose taste is very difficult to explain. Now, let's see the next question. How would you describe the taste of these? Tomato, onion, shrimp, garlic. So the four food items that is being given in this question, the taste of these food items can be explained very easily. In case of the tomato is juicy and somewhat sweet and sour taste. In case of the onion, it used to have a pungent smell. Pungent smell actually, they are the type of smell which used to pinch our nose. The next one is shrimp. Shrimp, it used to have a sweet taste and gives a very good smell. Garlic also have a pungent smell and along with that the taste is bitter. Now let's come to the next question. Think of words that you know or make up your own words to describe the taste. So, dear students, you might have met certain type of sounds, certain type of words when you taste different type of food items. For example, when you eat spicy food items, then we produce a particular type of sound. When we eat a food item which we like the most and which is very yummy, then also we used to produce different type of sound. So for these questions, you have to write down the different type of sounds or the different type of words that you make when you eat different types of food item. Now let's come to the next question. When Jumpa tasted some of the things, she said, what do you think she might have eaten? Such type of CC sound is produced when we eat spicy food items. In order to tolerate the spiciness of the food item, we make certain type of sound. So otherwise, the CC sound that is produced by Jumpa is also one. Now, let's come to the next question. Why don't you make sounds that describe some taste? So this question is also for you. You have to write down certain type of sound that you produce when eating different type of food items. Now let's come to the next question. From your expression and sound, ask your friends to guess what you might have eaten. So this is a game that you can play along with your friends. You have to produce certain type of sound to indicate the type of food that you have eaten, and your friend have to guess the food items by hearing your sound. So this is a very interesting game that you can play along with your friends. Now let's come to the next topic. Chew it or chew it well. What is the difference? So chew it, the word chew it and chew it well, it have different meanings. When we say chew it, we may be chewing the food items 1 or 2 times. When we say chew it well, then the food items should be chewed for a longer period of time, so that the food components that is present in the food that we eat can be mixed properly with the saliva that is produced in our mouth. So let's continue with the questions that is given underneath. Try this together in class. Each of you take a piece of bread or roti or some cooked rice. Put it in your mouth, chew 3 or 4 times and swallow it. Did the taste change as you chew it? Now take another piece or some rice and chew it 30 or 32 times. Was there any change in the taste after chewing so many times? So while chewing, the food items that we eat are broken down into small pieces. And these food items, they are mixed with the saliva by the help of our tongue. So when these chew food items are mixed with the saliva by the tongue, the enzyme present in the saliva digests the carbohydrate present in the food and it gets converted into sugar. So if we chew 3 or 4 times only, the saliva will not get sufficient time to digest the carbohydrate present in the food. Because of that reason, we will not be able to feel the sweet taste of the food. But if we chew 30 to 32 times, then the saliva is properly mixed with the food items and the enzyme present in the saliva digests the carbohydrate present in the food properly, converting it into sugar. Due to that reason, if we chew for a longer period of time, the food items, the taste of it started changing into sweet nature. So, when you chew the food items, you have to chew it properly, you have to chew it well. Because the digestion of the food items starts in our mouth itself. If we do not chew the food items properly, then the carbohydrate present in the food will not be able to digest properly inside our body. So in order to make the carbohydrate digest properly and to get sufficient amount of energy inside our body, we have to chew the food items well. Now, let's come to the next section, disgust. Has anyone at home told you to eat slowly and to chew well so that the food digests properly? Why do you think they say this? So the answer of this question was explained already just now. Let us remind it once again that the digestion of the food starts in our mouth. In the mouth, the carbohydrates present in the food is digested and gets converted into sugar. So in order to digest the carbohydrate properly, we have to chew it well. Now let's come to the next question. Imagine you are eating something hard like a green guava. What kind of change takes place in it? From the time you bite a piece and put it in your mouth to when you swallow it. So when we eat the food item, we bite the food item with our front teeth. The big pieces of the food item that we often, after biting it, is been again chewed by different types of teeth present in our mouth, converting it into small pieces. After these pieces are mixed with the saliva softens the food items and afterward it gets converted into a paste-like structure for easy swallowing. So chewing on the food items is very important. So chewing on the food items well properly is very important so that the digestion process can be fastened and the food items can be converted into the paste-like structure for easy swallowing. Now let's come to the next question. Think, what does the saliva in our mouth do? So there are two functions that is performed by the saliva. The first function is that the enzyme present in the saliva digests the carbohydrate and converts it into simple sugar. So it helps in the digestion of the food. The second function is that the saliva, when it is mixed with the food items, it converts the food items into a paste-like structure for easy swallowing. Now, let's continue with the next topic present in the next page. Straight from the heart. Where do you think the food must be going after you put it in your mouth and swallow it? In the picture given here, draw the part of the food through your body. Share your picture with your friend. Do all of you have similar picture? So inside our body, there is an organ system that is present which helps in the digestion of the food materials. This organ system is known as the digestive system. Inside this digestive system, there is a long canal through which the food passes for the process of digestion. This long canal is known as the alimentary canal. So from the mouth, when we swallow the food enters into the stomach, passing through a long tube known as the food pipe. Inside the stomach, it is again digested. The food is again digested by mixing with other enzymes. And then from the stomach, it is passed to the small intestine and the large intestine where the absorption of the nutrients present in the food takes place. While the unabsorbed waste materials are excreted out from our body. The first question given in the discuss section is, how do you feel when you are very hungry? How would you describe it? For example, sometimes we jokingly say, I am so hungry, I could eat an elephant. So actually, when we feel hungry, we try to express our hunger by different words or in different ways. So one example is given in your book that, I am so hungry that I could eat an elephant. It is not that when we are hungry, we can eat an elephant. It is just an expression that this person is feeling very hungry. So when we are hungry, we used to feel a pain in our stomach and our body used to become weak. It is because when we are hungry, it means that our body is not getting sufficient amount of energy. Due to that reason, our body used to feel weak. At the same time, if we are feeling hungry for a long time and if we had not eaten food items for a long period of time, we even used to feel pain and burning sensation in our stomach. So now, let's come to the next question. How do you come to know that you are hungry? When we are hungry, just now I said that we feel weak. After that, different type of sound used to start producing from our stomach and our stomach used to have a burning sensation. So from this, we come to know that we are hungry. Now let's come to the next question. Think, what would happen if you do not eat anything for 2 days? So if we are not eating continuously for 2 days, then we will be feeling very weak that we will not be able to perform any type of work. It is because the energy that we have in our body is often from the food items that we eat. So if we are not eating for 2 or 3 days, then we will not be getting sufficient amount of energy to do certain type of works. Above that, our body, when it becomes weak, then we may get certain type of disease very easily. Because the food item also help in making our body strong to fight against the disease. If we are not eating for 2 or 3 days, it may even lead to different other type of diseases related to our digestive system or our stomach. So now, let's come to the next question, the last one for today. Would you be able to manage without drinking water for 2 days? Where do you think the water that we drink goes? Water is one of the most important components of the food that our body needs. It is because water is the main component of the blood that flows inside our body. The circulation of different types of materials inside our body also takes place with the help of water. Above that, the excretion of different types of waste material produced in our body also is done with the help of water. The temperature of our body is also maintained by the help of water. So, all the functions that are performed inside our body takes place with the help of water. Because of that, we will not be able to work properly. We will not be able to function properly without drinking water for 2 days. The water that we drink goes inside our body through the alimentary canal. And in the large intestine, the waters are absorbed and it is sent to different parts of our body depending upon the requirement in that particular area. So these are the things that we studied in today's class. In the next video class, we will come across the next 3 pages of this book. So for today, let us wind up here, dear students. Thank you.